Motherfucker, we gon' crazy. Yeah, what up, what up, what up? I'm in here right now, and you know I'm dressed up. I messed up a few times, but shit, so what? It's fine because I just don't give a fuck. Just don't give a fuck. What in the world, yeah? Just don't give a fuck. What in the world?
All right, Tommy, we are at our Saturday, February 15th episode. It is our Valentine's Day episode.
Yeah.
Tommy, it's our Valentine's Day episode. We are coming out on Singles Awareness Day for all the single people out there.
All the single ladies.
Oh, I'm a single lady. Even though they made it evident on the 14th that they were single, they made everyone aware via their Instagram photos or Facebook posts.
Hey, Jay. Here's a quick riddle for you. How can you tell if a woman is single in the office?
I don't know, Tommy.
Oh, she'll fucking let you know.
Oh, absolutely.
That'll let every fucking know.
You already know. I would say it's pretty much tattooed on our fucking forehead. But, Tommy, let's get into it. We are post-Super Bowl. What'd you think about the finale to football, Bones?
I liked it. I've heard nothing but shit talk, except from Eagles fans, which apparently is most of America. But I liked it. I liked, honestly, most aspects of the Super Bowl. I liked the beginning, where the Eagles were kicking the dog shit out of the Chiefs. I liked the halftime show. I kind of liked the little spark of life the Chiefs put in themselves at the very end. Not enough to give everyone hope, but enough to see it, kind of keep it interesting.
Yeah, for the people that bet added points to the over. It helped them out.
It did hit my over. I did hit...
Over hit for everyone. That was a big one. I had the over as well.
Nice.
A lot of old whites.
Ooh.
They did not like Kendrick's halftime show.
No, they did.
I saw one guy even say, "Why wasn't it AC/DC?" And I'm like, "Have you seen Angus in those shorts?" Oh God.
Isn't Angus dead?
No. Any of the one where he's still wearing those shorts? I think on like reunion tours and
one of the original members is dead. Maybe the drummer. I do not remember.
But yeah, his thighs are looking like Angus beef and that shit, man. He needs to stop that. He's too old for that. Too old for that mess, man.
And when was the last time AC/DC put out an album?
I think old whites just shouldn't comment on anything. They it's either offensive or stupid at this point. It's just like, man, that was an ignorant comment, whether you were making fun of that person for being racially different or just because you're just totally out of step with life.
I heard people bitching about, I can't hear the singing. It's a rapper. Of course you didn't hear any fucking singing.
And they were like, he didn't really put on a show. Have you ever been to a rap concert? They're not the ones dancing.
No kidding. You had Serena Williams crip walk. What more do you want out of life?
And then one post I saw on, obviously a white, he said, there was no guitars or anything. I'm like, what song does Kendrick have that a fucking guitar and drummers needed? Are you stupid?
And I hate that because they're like, you need those classical instruments. You need to see people. But then you have like Bruno Mars, Katy Perry, The Weeknd. Yeah, they have their backup players, but then themselves are just fucking singing. They're not playing instruments either. It's one thing is clearly obvious, and I don't know if we want to talk about it. Everyone in America these old white people are big Drake fans. That's all it really comes down to. These old white guys are defending pedophiles, and I think that's very telling.
Yeah, I think it is as well. Tommy, I think they have forced the NFL's hand on this. I have a future pick for who I think is going to do the Super Bowl next year.
Oh, okay.
I think they get Miss Taylor Swift next year because they're going to be like, it's going to appease the whites. Ooh. She has instruments. They obviously think she's in the favor of the NFL anyway, helping write the script. I think next year we get Taylor Swift at a halftime show. I think that's what happens. They're going to appease the whites.
That's interesting because that only happens if the Chiefs do not make it to the Super Bowl. Because if they make it, she obviously has to be up there in the fucking box. But I could see that.
I think Travis misses the Super Bowl next year so he doesn't have to lose again in front of her. I think that's what happens. Either that or she leaves him.
You know my mom?
You can only take so many regular season losses to the Raiders before you're like, I'm out the door. I'm writing an album about you.
My mother said she saw on Facebook from a reliable source she can't remember or fucking find again that Taylor Swift secretly got engaged to Travis Kelce after the game. He's retiring. And
I have heard he's retiring.
I heard it's already done. Like, it's all been done secret and it'll come out any day.
But think of the balls to propose to your fiance after you just lost on the biggest stage? Like, you're crying, and she's like, are you crying because you're proposing? He's like, no, I just fucking lost the Super Bowl.
That motherfucker knew he's about to lose a job, and he's going to lock her down. Richest woman on the planet. That's just smart. That makes logical sense.
I think it's a hot take that, like, the Chiefs are in the weird spot now of, like, all right, Travis, you weren't athletic enough to get to those 2 catches that you were throwing. Noah Gray, I think, had more touchdowns than you this year. If you want to come back, obviously we're not going to tell you can't come back. You're a Hall of Famer. But if you're retired, it saves us some money. It opens up some cap room. We're not going to hold you back from retirement. You go experience it. I think that's where the Chiefs are right now.
Yeah. There's many better tight ends in the league right now that they could pick up.
Now we're not downplaying his career.
No, of course not.
He is a Hall of Fame career. I'm talking about his play right now.
Yeah.
Is indicative of a second-string tight end.
If you're watching this and you had Travis Kelce on your fantasy football, you already know this season was abysmal and you wasted a top 10 fucking pick probably. So this shouldn't be any surprise to anyone.
The viewers of the show would know that at the last week of the year, I made a joke. Travis Kelce's lost more white people money on anytime touchdown bets because he didn't score for like 7 weeks in a row. And he was the most bet player to score a touchdown.
Oh, speaking of which, I'm glad you brought that up. How many millions do you think people lost this Super Bowl betting on Sharquan Barkley to score a touchdown?
I lost all my bets because I had Shark. I thought that was the one the one lock of the game was Saquon was going to score a touchdown on his birthday.
Yeah.
Cooper did. 1 point for the Whites. Cooper DeJean scored on his birthday. From Iowa. He is like, if you wrote what a white person is, like from Iowa probably, that's like he is that guy. But he dunks on like in basketball highlights. He's a real cool white.
That's good.
As other companies would call him, an exciting white. Barcelona shirts.
That is exciting white.
All right, so the halftime show, we talked about that. Also from the weekend, congrats, Josh Allen. Congrats.
Yeah.
Well deserved. We love Josh Allen here. We're a pro Josh Allen podcast. He's my favorite quarterback besides. I can't say that now. I said it all the time, but now JD5 is out there. Jaden Daniels 5. He's out there now, so I can't just keep throwing that around willy-nilly. But Josh Allen's one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time.
Love him too. Great guy to bet on. Did he really deserve the MVP though?
I think he did. They said they redefined that MVP because Lamar got All-Pro 1. He was number 1.
Yeah.
That is the value to your team. Where I say that is not just me defending the white, is arguably they said the Bills did not have wide receivers this year. They didn't have any. So the fact that he threw for as many yards with what they would say, no receivers, how do you do that with no receivers? He made bad receivers good receivers. Is that your arguing point? Because I would say that's an MVP.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so I'd say that's what makes you a more valuable player. You made worse players better players by playing. I think that's a big deal. Also, he makes James Cook a better player by threatening the run because they don't know if he's going to pull it or not.
Yeah.
If you have a quarterback who can't run, you know it's going to the running back. You don't have to worry about it being pulled. I think that that's an issue that Lamar also creates as well for his opponents, but that's something Josh does while throwing what he does and with a worse team around him. He definitely had a worse defense. Ravens had a better defense.
Yeah. I got to say, when you actually break it down like that, it makes sense. I can't think of another team where a single player made such
that
a big
of a difference, yeah.
Now, I always go to this point, and viewers know where I'm going. The Panthers. Bryce Young is that for the Panthers. Because you think the Panthers, they had Chuba Hubbard, kinda, and a few small pieces, but they really didn't have anyone. That motherfucker was literally left out all alone by himself in a desert of no skill and managed to pull out 5 wins. But if you look at, like, the Bengals, where you have Joe Burrow, great player, Josh Allen caliber, but he's got Jamar Chase and all these people to throw to and options. Even Lamar Jackson with fucking his running game and everything, he has everyone to hand off to. Jay Flowers. I take back what I said. You know what? Josh Allen, deserving of the MVP.
Congrats, Josh Allen.
Congrats.
Congrats. We have a new NBA All-Star format being unloaded this week, Tommy.
Yeah, exciting.
4 teams. Essentially, it's what you said about the Pro Bowl, where it's 4 teams, and they're going to, I think, pick backyard playground style. And the captains, we have Shaq, which is going to be hilarious. Chuck. I love Charles. Charles. He's a funny man. We got Kenny and Candace Parker. And the games, 1st to 40. So you don't have to worry about these 180-point games where no one's playing defense. It's whoever can score 40 points first. I would play it on a half court, so they have to take it back and check.
That'd be cool.
That would be cooler than just watching a whole court game to 40, because I feel like that could be a quarter, a quarter's length of time, especially if they're not playing defense. But
even less.
How do you like in this new format, Tommy? Did they do good? Did they do bad? Are you ready to see it?
Love it. I do like it. I like that they have different coaches. They're adding variety, and they're trying something new. And that's really just what we want. We've seen the same fucking thing out of almost every sporting league for the last 100 years. You got to mix it up a little bit. I like that they're listening to our podcast and taking our ideas. I don't like that they're stealing it and not giving us credit, but it's a start. NBA, if you just want to give a little shout out, toss up our logo.
Adam Silver, thanks for the view. Follow and like next time so we can brag about you more. But Adam Silver, thank you for watching the podcast.
Oh, wait, do you think that may have been that one YouTube like that we got? Silver Loves Dong 73. Do you think that was him?
I think that was him.
Wow.
That could have been him, actually.
That makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah, now, I was kind of wondering. I was like, man, is it just an old guy that likes Dong? But Silver is his last name. That's probably him.
But going off just guessing and instincts, I'm going to take Shaq to win it all. His team, whoever he picks, because I know Charles Barkley is going to have the worst team, because that motherfucker is going to be thinking with gambling in mind. You already know he has a $500,000 bet behind the scenes with Shaq over something stupid.
I feel like Drake's going to bet on Chuck. That's what's going to get Chuck all kinds of in trouble. But, so Tommy, with Blitz the Book this week, we can see games are kind of limited.
Yeah.
No NBA games because of All-Star Weekend. NHL has 4 nations, which is only 2 games on Saturday.
Yeah.
Why do you think that the other leagues that are professional in the professional realm aren't taking advantage of the first weekend of no NFL? The league who's been arguably kicking their ass in ratings all year. Why do you think they haven't done anything about this?
I don't know. I think it's almost fucking survivor's guilt. These people have been suffering the last 6 months or so of football just dominating everything. You maybe catch a couple glimpses of an NBA game after football, but Sundays, Thursdays, Mondays, and then you have college too. I mean, football takes up a lot of time. And I think the NFL, NBA and the other sporting leagues know we're just so overwhelmed with football by the end of it that we need a little breathing room. So they don't even bother with commercials or... Because I didn't even know half this stuff's going on until we started doing research for the podcast. I was like, oh, fuck, that's going on. And it's mind-boggling because you're right. These are big events and kind of a big deal. And you're just not hearing about them like you should be. Now, I don't have cable TV like I'm 900 years old. I stream shit. So I'm sure that plays a factor into it. All my commercials are for Hims medication to help you get boners. Don't need it. And I don't know why they're doing it. But so
you're not going to take Hims to have a cock like a rock. Hims, hit me up. I got a new spokesline for you.
No. But I don't know why they're doing it. I think it's just because they feel like they can't succeed, so they're not even going to waste the time and effort, which is sad.
So what I gathered from that, in a way, Tommy, would you say that it is like a female hitting on you at your wife's funeral? Like it's too close. They're trying to give you a week.
Yeah.
Our wife just died. How dare you try to offer me lasagna and sex? You gotta wait. I love the woman in the ground over there. You gotta wait. NFL, I miss you. I love you. NBA decided to wait a little bit.
Come back, NFL. We'll be good. I didn't mean it what I said, Roger Goodell, about you being an anti-football hating fag.
I don't even think you're that ugly. I say it a lot, but I don't think you're that ugly. I think you're a handsome man. And bring us the NFL back, please.
and extend it out an extra week. Give us that President's Day, Super Bowl weekend, like we've been asking. Please.
And then Tommy, also UFL made announcements for upcoming years. They have built a corporate office in Texas and announced by 2027 they will be a 12-team league.
Damn.
With 4 more teams coming out across countries where they're building facilities and stadiums. Where would you put these 4 teams that they're going? What markets do you think they're going to pop up in?
Considering the already existing markets, I'd say I'd love to see one here in West Virginia. It makes sense geographically. Doesn't make sense when you look at money, infrastructure, and a lot of the other things that are very important. But if you think about how much I want it, then I think that's the number one contender because we're sitting in a football triangle of dead zones. We're right between Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia.
DC 6 hours.
DC 6 hours. I mean, we are just around these shitty fucking teams. Imagine you grow up in West Virginia. You love sports. You love football. And you're forced to be a Bengals, Browns, or a fucking Steelers fan. It almost makes you want to kill yourself.
It does. I'm glad I was born elsewhere because I would not want to be fans of those teams.
That's why you have so many Cowboys fans in the world. Is because there's so many dead zones, and then like I guess I'll just be America's team. If you are wanting to know why I put those in parentheses, check out our last episode where Jay very clearly defines why Cowboys are not America's team anymore.
So back on that, I would say I will match your mark with West Virginia. Why I think they should do it. Look at how much the people of West Virginia follow the Mountaineer football team.
Oh, yeah.
You can't tell me if we had a team here that everyone wouldn't be at that stadium on game day. It would happen. The market prices, WVU tickets during the season cost more than a UFL game would cost.
Ooh.
So that's something for them to do on the weekends. We already pack out the Milan Puskar Stadium. I think that they would have a team that is beloved here. I think the infrastructure is not in place, like you said. But if they think it wouldn't be finding a fandom here, they would be incorrect. They would actually have a lot of fans here that love football, love things in West Virginia, and I think that would be a big deal. What other markets could you see one popping up in?
Let's see. Utah is actually expanding with a new hockey club. And with Utah football team, University of Utah, getting a little bit better, I could see them opening up. That's a nice little untapped market, especially since they have basketball and some other good infrastructure there. Salt Lake City, I think they'd be prime for one.
One I would say that I was kind of thinking about would be maybe New Orleans area.
That wouldn't be bad.
They could tap in. That'd be a big football market. Atlanta, they haven't tapped into Atlanta yet for UFL.
That's actually surprising.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be maybe one of the ones they pop up with.
Ooh, North Carolina.
That was another one I was going to say. The Carolinas together, possibly, like they did with the Panthers.
Carolina, that little Greensboro, Winston-Salem is like the capital of minor league sports. There's so many minor league sports. Greensboro has a new women's minor league basketball team just starting this year. Toss in a football team while you're at it.
Yeah, I think, Raleigh, it'd be a good area.
That'd be cool. Raleigh would.
Maybe throw a third stadium in there next to PNC, or they use NC State Stadium and pay for it.
Lenovo Stadium.
I won't say it. I think the Redskins are still the name. I think PNC is still the name. I'm going to stick to what I know. All right, Tommy, and we have a great Valentine's Day episode for him today. We're going to get to that now. We have... Hear me out. The segment's getting better because we're getting better with age.
Yeah.
We're like a fine wine. We have Parlay or Die Sports News Network. We have 2 different Valentine's Day segments. We're getting the ball rolling post-football. And I'm excited to get it going. Let's get it going.
All right. Hear me out. We all love the Olympics. Who doesn't? I mean, it's fantastic. Every country in the world sending their best athletes to fight against each other. It's wonderful. And the skills competitions vary so wildly. You have regular sports like soccer, polo, water polo, some of the other ones. I don't really watch a lot of those ones, but the track and field are great. You see the strongest, the fastest, the most agile athletes in the world. It's phenomenal. What I think we should do as a country, as a society, have a state one. Think about it. Every 4 years, have representatives from every state compete against each other in the United States Olympics. Wouldn't that be cool? And every state has the best athletes up there on the podium. And you get to see the number one state has, maybe like Nevada has the fastest person in the country. Wouldn't that be interesting to find out? Maybe West Virginia has the strongest. Maybe. I just think it'd be a fun thing to do, get everyone's spirits up, and really give us a little bit more nationalism. Kind of unite the country. We're so divided right now. I think a fun sporting event would be a good way to get everyone's mind off everything.
Hear me out. I'm not trying to get religious with you guys, but I think sports proves something that's a heavily debated topic in our just everydays of living. I think if you watch closely and look at where sports have started to where we come from, or where we started and came from to where we are now, I think there's no way that you couldn't possibly believe in evolution. In the 70s, we literally had part-time plumbers out there playing Major League Baseball, and now we've beyond shattered their fucking records. They're barely athletes then, and now we have literally physical fucking specimens where we train in a fucking lab to make them stronger every day. I feel like they hardly train in gymnasiums anymore or weightlifting gyms. They train on fucking like with computers and shit hooked up to them like fucking Ivan Drago in Rocky IV. I think if you look at it and take someone like Jason Tatum and look at his build, and just how he's his body is made, you can tell that looking at someone from the 80s and 70s, 90s even, that the athletes have progressed to a state where evolution is undeniable. You can see that we have evolved as humans, and we're continuing our bodies and adapting to the world around us. It's continuing to evolution. I think just when you look at sports, I think it makes that topic evident, and that's all I wanted to talk about. I'm not trying to switch your religion or anything. I'm just saying, pretty good argument for evolution if you just look at sports.
Okay, hear me out. Sports teams need to be owned by the state they reside in. This is very weird and intricate, so hear me out. Sports teams are very fundamental to states' identities. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're known in Pennsylvania. The heritage, the Steelers, that goes back to the Pennsylvania's foundation where they're steel workers. That's their economy. That's ingrained in their system. But imagine one day the team's not doing so hot, losing some money, and they have to trade and move out somewhere. They're no longer the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you lose a piece of history. You lose a piece of the soul of the state, of the city, everything. What I think they should do is have the states, instead of private fucking owners, own the team. Have them reside in the state, and that way the states can actually generate some revenue from the games. Think about it. All the fucking beer money from $20 beers, these insane ticket pricing, a fucking $10 hot dog that you don't even get fucking coleslaw on. Not what we're talking about. But all these fucking profit margin bullshits are going to a private owner, some big wig up there that doesn't give a fuck about you. Especially if it's like the Panthers' temper and he's actively trying his hardest to ruin the team's fucking franchise. And then you have places like Buffalo where the city, the taxpayers are actually paying their taxes to build a new stadium for a private organization that could ultimately leave. It's insane when you think about it. How we remedy this? Have the states own the teams. That gives them all permanency and it makes it a little bit more real. It'll also bring the cost fucking down. How much do you pay for the post office? Exactly, versus UPS or something. When you make it government owned, it's going to be a little bit cheaper too to go because it's not worried about profit. It's about a service, providing to the citizens what they need. And what we need is more football.
Guys, hear me out. This one, I guess, could be a polarizing comment because I guess it's alleged because you won't have any direct quotes from anyone involved. This is me inferring from what I see. I think the NBA hates girlfriends and wives of their players. Why else would you schedule your All-Star weekend on Valentine's Day weekend? Let me tell you another league in this world that would never do that and has never done that. The NFL is never scheduled on Valentine's Day, ever. You can look it up. They respect the wives of their players and the girlfriends of their players because they're there for the players all year, and they respect that. Adam Silver with the NBA does not give a fuck. I'm not going to say he hates women, but he hates the ones that are dating his players in the league or married to them. And it's just evident who schedules work on Valentine's Day when it's a weekend. You literally took the weekend away from them. And then they have to go back to work next week, so it's not like they're going to postpone their Valentine's Day just for a couple of days. NBA, why do you hate women?
All right, last one. Hear me out. We need consistency across all the sports. And I'm not talking about recruitment. I'm not talking about pay. I'm not talking about rights of the players. All that's horseshit. Forget about it. I'm talking about consistency and the clear bag policy for fans when they enter the stadium. I know this may seem minute, but there's been several cases of women getting nice clear bags for Christmas that say NBA or NFL specifically designated bags, and you try and accidentally take it to an NHL game, even though it's a nice Christmas gift your son got. It gets thrown in the fucking trash because it's not good and it's worthless, and you don't want to walk back to the fucking car, drop it off, and then walk back. It's already cold. It doesn't matter. But these bag policies need to be consistent. Why on God's green earth does an NFL game have a different policy than an NHL game? What, I have a different fucking gun I'm going to use to assassinate someone at an NHL game? It doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't they have the same bag sizes made for everything? They need to have a universal code and a universal fucking policy for these bags so nice Christmas gifts sons give their moms don't get thrown away. Do better.
Guys, hear me out. You guys know me by now. We're in episode 7. I'm a man that loves nostalgia. And I think what America needs right now to get us all huddled around the old boob tube with our families and enjoying just American television again, just like the old days. We need to bring back the old sports shows that used to exist on television. What I'm referencing would be shows like Pros versus Joes or Sports Science, where they would break down the science behind tackles, the amount of force needed to throw a ball a certain amount of yards, to throw like a baseball 90 miles an hour. It taught us things, had sick graphics, and John Brinkus was the most fantastic nerd to ever exist in the early 2000s. Pros versus Joes, we would see average everyday guys get straight up fucking humiliated on national television. And I fucking loved it, to be honest. My kid self, I was elated to watch it. I believe there was an episode, I think, where like Adrian Peterson just straight up brutalized a dad of 4. That was crazy. And it's just stuff like that you never forget. Or Shaq versus, where Shaq would verse other athletes in their respective sport. Why are we missing out on this? That is grade A cinema or television. Instead, we have shit like 90 Day Fiancé and a family of midgets called the Little Johnsons, a penis pun. Where are we mentally where Love is Blind is a television show and we don't have Pros versus Joes anymore? We just need to think with our heads here, guys, and it's something we can fix. I believe we can get this going in an upward fashion, get some momentum there, and get the families around the old boob tube again. Make families families. Make television great again. And that's my thought for you guys. All right, Tommy, we're going to get into our Hear Me Out. We have a joint topic today that we're going to discuss. Get our opinions out there. Valentine's Day themed betting with your heart.
Oh.
We're gonna let everybody know what we think about that. Why it can get you in trouble, but why we still fucking do it. All right, Tommy. So betting with your heart. Tell us a time where it's gotten you in trouble, maybe.
Sure. I'll tell you the time when it got me in trouble. once upon a time, there was a little team from North Carolina, a little NFL football team, that with the up-and-coming quarterback managed to make it to the Super Bowl. Oh, and this quarterback was like nothing Carolina had seen in a long time. He was good. He could run. He could throw. He was dynamic. He wore silly hats. It was the best. And
Are you talking about Jake the Snake Plumber?
I am not.
He actually played somewhere else before.
I'm talking about Cam Newton. Cam Newton went to the Super Bowl, and I thought, that's a guy with some talent. I'm going to put some money on him. Not realizing it was Peyton Manning's 200th win if he had won. Peyton Manning was also returning to the Super Bowl after losing in 2014. And guess who won the game? It was not my beloved Panthers, who I thought with my heart would win.
Luke Kuechly deserved that one.
Yeah.
Luke Kuechly deserved that one.
Jay, do you have a similar story of heartbreak?
I do. It was 2016. I was in a strip club. I believe she loved me. I believed it. I bet with my heart she did. That's why I got another $150 out and I bought those 3 songs. You know what happened after? She left the room. Damn. After the songs were over, she left. I didn't even get asked if I wanted to buy another 3. And I believed that she loved me, and it fucking burned me. It burned me, T-Bones.
You did.
Don't ever bet with your heart.
You did choose Stairway to Heaven as your 3 songs.
I did. I was trying to get more time. I didn't think that this is a horrible song to dance to or get your penis grinded on by. There was a lot of things that were miscalculated that evening. Like I shouldn't have tipped after giving her $150 when she left anyway. I shouldn't have tipped. Nope. I shouldn't have tipped.
But with every story of heartbreak, there's a story of heart triumph.
Triumph. Like this year, where every week I was told the Commanders are going to fucking lose in the playoffs. And I won. Yeah. I won with my heart. I was overjoyed. I was ecstatic. I won fucking real money in my bank account because I bet on the boys. So it's the highest of highs, but also the lowest of lows. Because if not, I lost money and my favorite team got hammed on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I could definitely see both sides, but if you are a bettor and you're trying to call yourself a professional gambler, don't be Devin and bet on the Dallas Cowboys because they'll fucking lose every time.
No kidding. What a dumpster fire.
But next year's their year. Next year's their year. If you ask any Dallas fan, I don't believe them, especially after last year. And Dak Prescott's still your quarterback.
No kidding. Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed. So we'll get back to the point of the topic here. Betting with your heart. You always do it. You always do it. I know, essentially we were going to tell them, you don't bet with your heart. It's a bad idea. You could lose everything. Fuck that. Fandom over everything.
I agree. And sometimes it plays into your advantage. Sometimes you don't need to listen to the naysayers. If you know something to be true, don't tell anyone. Keep it to yourself as a secret. I'll tell you a story. Joe Burrow was playing for the LSU for the national championship. And it was back and forth. The spread was 6.5 points. LSU was a favorite. And people kept asking me, Thomas, you don't take LSU? Because that was Golden Boy Joe Burrow's time. He was doing hell of a thing. He had that one coach from the Crawdad farm that fucking smoked every day. And I said, 2 things are going to happen tomorrow. The sun will rise from the east, and Joe Burrow will cover that spread. And what do you know happened? The sun rose, and I won $100 fucking dollars. Easy. Best money I've ever made. Never sweated it for a fucking second.
Hell yeah. That's what's up. I lost money on that Super Bowl.
Not the Super Bowl, the college football championship.
Oh, yeah.
It was for LSU.
I was going to say, I took Joe Burrow in a Super Bowl.
Oh, don't do that.
He broke my heart.
Don't bet on Ohio to win championships.
Except for this year, because I won money on that.
Don't.
Bucks.
Bet with your heart. Bet with hate. Fuck Ohio.
Oh, speaking of that, betting with hate, Tommy. That is still, you hate with your heart, I believe.
Yes.
We're also chasing those. Where did I lose there this year? I fucking hate Notre Dame, and I hate Ohio State. Fuck them to death. And I lost money on that. I think, honestly, I'd lose more money betting with my hate than my love of any team. I bet a lot for hating things, especially in the UFC. It fucks me every time. I'm like, I fucking hate this guy. But I usually fucking hate them because he's a boring wrestler who wins against my favorite fighters. I'm like, I fucking hate you because you're kicking my dick in every weekend. It sucks.
It's hard to really track.
But it'll cancel out if you bet against the Cowboys. It'll always cancel out.
That's true. So because the Cowboys are kind of a paradox. You love to hate them. So I think they kind of balance out to where you can bet against them consistently.
He's like a good supervillain in a comic book. You're like, he's such a good supervillain. If he dies, I don't get to see Batman fight the Joker no more.
Oh, true.
So you need that pissant Jerry Jones to be the old-ass Joker. Just so you can fucking hate him. He's the villain of the season. Just like, I can't even name another person in the league that I hate that much. Nope, I can't think of anything. So, we're going to say, always bet with your heart. It's Valentine's Day. Let your heart shine.
Listen to your heart.
'Cause it's coming for you. Listen to your heart.
A Super Bowl halftime performer will not be facing charges after displaying the Palestinian flag during a protest during the show. To reiterate, a man will not be facing charges after committing no crime. I know we are all on edge right now, but black people are still allowed to do things.
Making headlines again, Jerry Jones reported in an interview with Diane Rossini, although Jerry Jones's team has been dead since October, Jerry believes that it is shocking that the Dallas Cowboys are not in this year's Super Bowl. In other news, dementia-riddled Jerry Jones smokes crack.
A Seattle man is facing charges against him after allegedly shoving a 12 and 14-year-old referee at his son's hockey game. Of course, he told the police that he was only defending his son, which is exactly what I would tell police too if I also didn't understand what offsides was.
And for our Good Samaritan Spotlight of the Week, we are thanking the NFL. While most companies would stop and celebrate their biggest financial gain of the fiscal year, the NFL springs to a call to action as early as the next day after the Super Bowl to help impoverished countries. The NFL the next day sends out thousands of pre-made Super Bowl shirts that were supposed to go to the losing team, claiming they are the Super Bowl champions. Those shirts are shipped to third world countries and impoverished countries for them to have shirts, as the NFL believes that is a necessity of life. Although the kids want food, the NFL is teaching them a life lesson of you don't always get what you want. Sometimes you get what you need.
In other recent news, Kanye West, everyone's favorite rapper in Paris, is in hot water after allegedly having a Super Bowl ad that directed people to his website that sold swastika-covered merchandise. When Roger Goodell was asked why he would allow such a thing to happen, he responded with a receipt for $10 million for a 30-second Super Bowl ad.
Harrison Butker, seen here setting women back 30 years, reported that his suit was stolen after the Super Bowl when he got out of the shower. Harrison, I think bigger concerns are that Serena had more minutes on the field than you.
In recent news, Kyrie Irving is set to replace Anthony Davis on the All-Star team after Anthony Davis's recent injury. I guess the NBA really wanted to trade out injury-prone for ignorant-prone.
In baseball news, MLB reports that an umpire has been busted for a cheating scandal. He allegedly was betting on games where he was the lead umpire. Shocking fans worldwide, we just assumed he was dog shit. Turns out he was betting for the other team. MLB shouldn't be mad at Scandal, as Scandal is one of the only things that makes baseball watchable. Think about it. Shohei Ohtani is guilty. Pete Rose. All the steroid scandals. The Houston Astros beating on trash cans. Come on, MLB. Remember where you came from. All right, Tommy. We're going to get on to another segment. This one with a little bit of a Valentine's spin on it. We're going to talk, Valentine's Day is about couples, two people. So we're going to talk about the best tandems in sports. Two people on the same team, player, coach, or player, or maybe like a player and mistress, possibly. You could go there if you wanted to. You could.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Air McNair. His mistress killed him. I wouldn't say the best twosome in the world, but they are a twosome that existed in it.
A gruesome twosome.
A gruesome twosome. Gruesome twosome Tuesday! All right. And so, like, we'll name people like Kobe Shaq, Brady Belichick,
Yeah.
Hernandez and Murder,
Ooh.
Dwight Howard and Taiwanese Ladyboys. It can go anywhere. It can go anywhere you want with it. We're going to have some fun with it. Tommy, who would you put on this top 5 of ours? If we're painting one up, who would you put on this as one of the best tandems in sports history?
One of my favorites, and I'm glad you said Peyton, because Peyton Manning and Eli Manning, what a great duo. This duo is so fucking fun to be around that they gave them a TV show when they were both done playing, and people are loving it. It's actually the one sportscast you can actually watch and it doesn't fucking suck and you want to kill yourself. Who actually wants to watch Tony Romo on TV?
Peyton's Places is informative, yet funny.
Yeah.
It gives you both. Teaches a little bit, and then also you're going to laugh with Peyton because things he says are funny, not necessarily because it's a joke, because he might be retarded. It's a little slow in the cadence. He killed it on Saturday Night Live. He's one of my favorite Saturday Night Live hosts of all time. So did Eli.
Oh, I called it after I saw that episode. I said, if he ever gets into TV, he's going to kill it. His commercials are funny.
Yeah.
There's a reason Eli doesn't do commercials, because he's a fucking stone bored, but I like the banter back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
And Eli's not a bad football player, so they tell me.
And I will say, Cooper Manning for the Fox telecast is hilarious.
Ooh, yeah.
Coop's a funny one, so I wonder if Arch was funny.
I bet he is. I bet he can tell a joke or two.
I bet he could. So if I'm putting another twosome on this top 5, I'm gonna give one for West Virginia, a twosome. I'll do 2 college twosomes, so we're not leaving either school out.
Okay.
We'll do Pennington Moss for Marshall University.
Good. Nice.
Pat White, Steve Slayton for WVU. Those were 2 crazy twosomes in college football. Pat White and Steve Slayton changed the game of college football for 2 or 3 years while they were together. And Pennington Moss is fucking legendary. Chad was one of the most accurate quarterbacks in NFL history for a few years with an over 70% completion percentage. And Moss is fucking Randy Moss. He's the best receiver to ever live.
He created the verb, you just got mossed.
Yeah, those I think are 2 great college twosomes, and they're local to our state of West Virginia. So I think those ones are some money there. If you had to add another 2 onto this top 5, Tommy, where are you going?
Let's see. I'm going a little something unconventional. Johnny Manziel and whoever opens and runs liquor stores in Ohio. Johnny Manziel is an all-time favorite of mine, almost a personal hero, because he put his fun. He realized he was playing a game and treated it like a fucking game.
And that game was Grand Theft Auto.
Anyone that's going to prioritize drinking, drugs, women over their career of $1 million a year, I mean, hats off to you. And Johnny couldn't do it by himself. Johnny could not get in his position of ruining a career if that guy who runs a liquor store didn't open up early every day, invite him in, and also have the connections to hook him up with what he needed. Great on you, man. You did good.
We won't say it was a great twosome because it affected us negatively, but an effective twosome nonetheless. They destroyed it quickly.
I thought they were great.
I thought they were great together. Especially when he was in that fan-controlled football league that was fucking odd.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was
weird.
I thought that was going to work. That was going to work. Oh, so if I had to pick another 2 here, let me see. Another 2. I won't go with one that's trying to seek any humor on this one. I think this is a solid one for all sports fans. John Madden and Pat Summerall in the booth.
Ooh.
They're probably the best twosome to ever be in the booth. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman would probably be like a second. Pat and John are the best to be up there, besides like Al Michaels for what he did like in other sports as well. But he was kind of like him and anybody. Pat and John were together.
Right.
So that kind of completes that twosome. Just legendary. Listening to old games and just being able to hear their voices. John on Thanksgiving You know, it's just like legendary shit. It gives you like goosebumps when you listen to it. The nostalgia fills your body. Your face turns red because all the blood's going to your brain because it's just filled with such good thoughts and memories of Pat and John. That's a special one for me. I like Pat and John. They mean a lot.
They do. All right, keeping the ball rolling. None of the sportscasters, but also former athletes, Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley.
Ooh.
Oh, I gotta say, probably my two favorite. Shaquille O'Neal is my favorite basketball player of all time. I love Shaq. I think he's funny. I think he's a good guy. He donates a lot of money, does a lot of charity work, owns Papa John's. Actually, the guy got caught saying the N-word.
Wonderful actor. He was in the movie Shazam and also Grown Ups.
And Scary Movie 4.
That is true. He played himself.
That's right.
That's his best acting role. He nailed it.
He couldn't make a free throw to save him and Dr. Phil.
I know. That's why he nailed it.
Very accurate.
It was probably the most accurate performance of his career.
Exactly.
Even though I did believe he was a genie coming out of that boombox.
Oh, yeah, he made it rain Skittles. I mean, that seems like something Shaq could do.
Yeah, and he's just smiling.
But yeah, Chuck and Shaq, what a duo. You see them on everything. They talk football, they talk basketball, they give each other shit. And it goes back to when they were playing. I mean, those two used to fucking hate each other on the court, and it made games exciting. You just don't see that kind of rivalry anymore. I know there's a small dislike every now and again. People don't like James Harden, or people think LeBron James has an ego, but overall, we don't really see the people absolutely not liking each other anymore. I miss it.
I miss it as well, but let's not talk why, because then we sound like the old guys that are just... We know what the old guys are saying about the newer people. We're not going to go there. We're not going to get canceled for sharing beliefs of the old folk.
Won't do it.
We're not going to do that today. Not today, sir. But also, so we have one more spot in our top 5. We could go maybe some sisters, Venus and Serena. Ooh. Maybe we can go another basketball dude. We got Tim Duncan, Tony Parker. Ooh.
That's a good one.
Pete Rose in the over. He loved betting the over as a coach. Shouldn't be doing that. And then, there's just so many places we could go with this.
Maybe the Bash Bros.
I think that's it, Tommy. Let's go Bash Bros. From Mighty Ducks 2, D2. You could almost say D3, but Dean Portman only shows up for like the last little period of the game. It's really Bombay could have got him like a better plane ticket, I feel like. He really just fucked the team. They could have been up. They could have really beat the shit out of the varsity.
No kidding, right?
The Bash Bros was a solid pool, Tommy. Solid pool. Fulton Reed, Dean Portman. I actually have a Dean Portman jersey. That's how much the Bash Bros mean to me.
Wow.
You killed it there, Tommy. Wait. Good job.
That's what a guy's guy does.
That's his football guy.
A guy's guy would be a football guy.
Nevertheless. All right, that brings together our top 5 of the greatest twosomes in sports. We're going to go on to our next segment. We'll see you there.
Before we go, tell us your favorite duos. Did we talk about your favorite ones? Did we miss some? Leave a comment down below.
And we're going on to our next segment. Thank you, Tommy. We're going to do a little fresh spin on the mystery date game. We're going to have the mystery athlete game. We have 3 mystery athletes. I'm going to read Tommy roughly about a paragraph that's going to have some hints thrown in there to who this person is. It could be nicknames, maybe like small hints to where they're from, where they went to school possibly. Really anything like that, Tommy. We'll have 5 questions he can ask before he has to make a guess on who it is. Let's see how many he gets. Mystery Athlete 1. 35 years old. Multiple-time champion. May see this guy dating chicks in other states because he loves scoring from long distance. He had a former teammate who loved to cook. The player is seen somewhat as a captain in the area he formerly lived. 3-time gold medalist Olympian, went to college in the state of Washington. Has had an issue with weed before he was drafted. He has a brother in the MLB. And there's one more line. Where'd it go? Oh. My mistake. And his dad won an NBA championship. He also has a pet English bulldog named Rocco.
$35 old, multi-champion, gold medalist.
And you can't ask who it is one of your 5 questions. You can't do that. Viewers, comment in the comments if you got it.
No kidding. Is he currently still an athlete? Is he still currently playing?
He is still currently playing.
Chicks in multiple states. Following with weed.
I'll read that part back to you, Tommy. It is, he may date chicks in other states because he loves scoring from long distance.
Is it Steph Curry?
No.
I'm going to count that as 2 questions. Is it an NBA player?
Yes.
That already slims it down to what I will or will not know. Problem with the weed. Man. Kyrie Irving?
Nope. I will trade you another hint.
Anthony Davis?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Who is it? Give it to me. I'm not going to get it.
Klay Thompson.
Never would have gotten that. Give me 100 more guesses. I may have gotten it.
We'll go over the hints real quick that there was. Scores from long distance. He's a 3 shooter.
Yeah.
Former teammate who loved to cook. Chef Curry. The player is seen somewhat as a captain. He used to he was known in the San Francisco area for driving his boat through the bay, and they called him Captain Clay.
Okay.
3-time gold medalist. That was just a blatant one. He went to Washington State, and I said he went to college in the state of Washington.
Yeah.
His brother is in the MLB, which is
Didn't know that.
true, and his dad won an NBA championship, which
Didn't know that.
also has an English bulldog named Rocco. So those ones are straightforward. The other ones were a little bit more sneaky.
Okay. I'm getting the hang of the game.
Alrighty. Athlete number 2.
Let's give it.
28 years old. Plays a sport that is a winter sport. Loves the cold. His team name was also the name of an NFL franchise once. Scorer when it counts. Has a postseason scoring accolades. He is the centerpiece of his team's starters. Has never won the gold. He is a Canadian from the 6.
Okay. I'm guessing it's an NHL player.
It is an NHL player.
I'm assuming white.
He is a white person, yes. Well, you ruled out 2% of the whole league, Tommy, so maybe 1 if it had to be an African Canadian. So maybe none. You might have not ruled out anybody.
Okay. 5 questions. Does he play for a Canadian team?
Yes.
Fuck me. I don't know anyone on Toronto. Does he play for the Maple Leafs?
No.
Okay. There's it down. Is his name French?
No. We'll give you 2 guesses.
I have absolutely no idea who any of these guys. I don't even have a fucking guess. Is it someone that has made the playoffs the last year?
Yeah.
I don't know. I give up. Give it to me.
The mystery athlete is Connor McDavid.
Never would have gotten that. 100%.
The next Gretzky
I feel
plays for Edmonton Oilers. We'll go over the hints. Winter sport, you got that. It was hockey.
Yep.
His team name is the Edmonton Oilers, which was also the Houston Oilers.
Yep.
Scorer when it counts. He does have postseason scoring accolades. He's the highest scorer in a postseason, I think, in one postseason.
Okay.
He is the center in their starting lineup.
Yeah.
He's never won. He hasn't won the championship yet. And the 6 is Ontario. That's where he's from.
See, as soon as I took out Maple Leafs, I knew it was the Oilers because I remember that chick in that video last year.
The big old boobies.
Yeah, so I knew it was the Oilers, but I don't know a single fucking player on the Oilers.
They put her on the Playboy app. I would say a magazine, but I don't think it exists anymore. They're an app now, almost like OnlyFans.
That is wild.
It is wild.
Do they sell the articles?
I don't think so. I think it's just buying bitches' videos.
That almost, that just sounds like porn with more steps.
Yeah, porn's being ruined. It's a fucking staple of America. Here we are talking about porn on Valentine's Day. Singles Awareness Day. Singles Awareness Day on the 15th. Porn. There you go.
All right.
That's your best friend. That's your Valentine.
All right, who's the third athlete?
The third athlete, mystery athlete, 27 years old. Does moves that no one else in the world can do. Not someone who could help you get things from the top shelf, as they are legally under the height requirement for being a small person. GOAT is a term used when describing this person. She is from Columbus, Ohio. Has won gold in their respective sport many times.
Simon Bell?
I think you got it, but you're saying it terribly wrong.
Simone Belly?
Just so really bad wrong.
But is it that? What is it?
Simone Biles.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, that bitch.
Wow, I didn't even have it, like my question. Okay, I got one.
Yeah, you got one. There we go. That's why we play the game. That's why we play the game. Congrats, Tommy. You got one of 3.
Yeah.
But maybe more people in the comments, you'll find out you got more than 3, and you're dialed in. You're dialed in.
Fucking roast me. I deserve it.
At least you got one. I was worried. I was nervous for a second. I was like, he does not know gymnasts.
No, I actually know that one because of all the controversy with her not playing or competing last Olympics. Yeah. I felt bad for her, and she's a hell of a fucking gymnast. I mean, she's top fucking notch.
She did compete last Olympics.
No, it was the one before last.
One before last, yeah. Because her husband was on Hard Knocks preseason this year. Jonathan Owens for the Bears. And she was featured on it for like 2 minutes. They were at their house for a minute.
That's cool. That's
really the more you know. Live from the UFC Apex, we have Fight Night. For the first fight of the main card, we have Connor, the Controller, Matthews. He is 7-2 and coming in as a plus 220 underdog versus Jose Delgado. He bolsters an 8-1 record and is coming in as the minus 295 favorite. All right, and we're going to UFC Fight Night. Live at the UFC Apex, even though Dana told us he wasn't going to do those anymore in 2025. He was going to do more events that fans could go to and that he wouldn't upsell to 50 people tickets to on bleacher seats. But they're still at the Apex, and here we are with the first fight of the main card. We have Connor, the Controller Matthews, versus Josh Delgado. Josh Delgado is the minus 295 favorite, Tommy. Where are you feeling on this one? Where are you leaning to?
I like Jose. I know people will tell me, no way, Jose. But I like him. Delgado is already 8-1. He's got a good record. That one loss was close. He's got a strong finishing ability. And he's got wins with a variety. He's got knockouts and submissions. So that's going to be...
threat everywhere.
Exactly. That's hard to pin down. A lot of these times people read the review. They don't read. They watch the review film. They practice strategies. And they get in their mind too much. They think, okay, I'm ready for this. I've got a set plan. And like Mike Tyson famously said, everyone's got a plan until they're punched in the face. Matthew has a skill, and he may have less experience against this guy. He's more seasoned. He has a little bit more fights against him. But I like the versatility. And I got to say, Jose all the way.
Tommy, this is an American name that you're fucking up here. His name is Josh. His name is Josh Delgado.
It's spelled Jose, like Jose.
Is that racism? Did you commit a racism because his last name's Delgado? You called him Jose?
Is it supposed to be?
It's Josh.
No. That's interesting because it is spelled. I got it spelled the right way. I'm still going with Jose. You heard?
All right, and that wasn't a racism. He just can't read. I'm going to go with Josh Delgado as well. I think he's going to kick Connor Matthews' ass. Pardon my French. He's going to fuck him up. And I think that one's going to be an easy one to call. Neither of them really have made a great name for themselves in the UFC yet. They're newer. I think Josh Delgado's record and, like you said, the way that he wins, I think, is more across the board. Those people are harder to defend because you don't know exactly how they're going to approach the fight. I'm going Josh Delgado, and I'm not picking anything besides money line because, as you can see, he wins it various different ways. Don't want to risk it. I would go just money line, put it in a parlay. It's the only way you're going to make money on it.
Yes, sir.
And for the second fight of the main card, we have Andre Petrovsky. He has a 12-4 record, and he is a plus 172 underdog versus Rodolfo Vieira. He is coming in with a 10-2 record, and he is the minus 225 favorite. All right, coming at you, fight number 2 on the main card of UFC Fight Night. Rodolfo Vieira versus Andre Petrovsky. Tommy, I'm going to tell you right now, I like Rodolfo. I don't like Andre. Where their strong suits are, I think this fight is either going to be a first-round tap or an absolute snooze fest for 3 rounds. Has the capabilities of putting the fighter to sleep or the audience to sleep. I think you get both of those options. Maybe you should bet on that maybe. Like, are you going to go to sleep or is the fighter going to go to sleep? They should open that up on FanDuel. Tommy, what are you feeling on this potentially atrocious and boring wrestling match that could happen? Or maybe something exciting. What are you feeling?
It's going to be a technical match. We got wrestler versus wrestler. And I like Rodolfo too. This guy's a world-class BJJ competitor. His last 2 fights, he's on a 2-fight win streak with arm triangles. This guy is very technical and skilled, knows what he's doing. But so does Andre. Andre is also a grappler. And I think that's what we're going to see. We're going to see 2 wrestlers wrestling it out. If one gets a lucky arm clinching, we can see a submission. But for the most part, I think this is going to go the distance. I think you're absolutely right. And we're going to see points. So this was going to be heavy technical. And it's going to take a lot of fucking skill to come out on top on this one. But I think Rodolfo's got this little bit of edge on him.
Where I think I see this going, if I'm viewing into my crystal ball here, I think I can predict this fight, and I know what happens. Andre Petrovsky is a cocky asshole. He is going to think, this world-class Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner, I'm going to fucking try to take him down and show him I'm just as good as he is.
Ooh.
I think he's going to get himself submitted in that position because he is going to shoot. When your strongest part is your wrestling, your striking is already subpar.
Yeah.
So they know it's your wrestling that's going to have to make the difference. You're at that one point, you're very one-dimensional against the other guys. Also, strongest attributes. Rodolfo, I think, does have some knockouts mixed in his career, but he is a grappler who is a practitioner in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah. I think Rodolfo takes this one. Like I said, you're either going to bet that they're going to sleep or that you go to sleep. I would take Rodolfo by submission because I think Petrovsky's going to put himself in position to be submitted, being cocky as he is with his fighting style and wrestling and everything like that. I think he's going to definitely not shy away from the... Usually if it's a Brazilian guy, you're not going to wrestle him. You're not going to put him in his guard or force him to put you in his guard. And I think he's going to go right into that fucking guard. I think he's going to he's going to put himself right in position to be submitted by being cocky enough to say, he's not going to submit me. I'm just as good as he is.
I could see him not wanting to take it to the judge's decision, and so he's going to be a little extra fucking aggressive and try and get those holds and stuff, and it's going to fail him. He's going to fucking slip up.
I think that first, mark my words, you can't bet on this. That first takedown is going to end up with a guillotine.
Ooh.
At least it's going to be locked in.
Yeah.
Whether he gets out of it or not, that first takedown, Rodolfo's going to show him, you do this again, and I'm going to fucking choke you to death. And I think that's not going to stop Andre. He's going to get choked out. Rodolfo by submission.
I like it. Good bet.
Let's go. What do we have next, my man? For the third fight of the evening, we have a lightweight bout. Ismael Moreta Bonfim. He is a 20-4 record. He is the minus 192 favorite versus Nazim the Black Wolf Sadikov. He is a 9-1-1 record, and he is the plus 148 dog. For our third fight of the evening on the main card, we have Ismael Moreta Bonfim versus Nazim, the Black Wolf Sadikov. Sadikov is a plus 148 underdog in this one. Tommy, what are you seeing on this?
I like Bonfim like I like Banh Mi. I love my Vietnamese sandwiches, and I like my Ismael. This guy is 20-4. He's got the experience, and like earlier, he's got a versatile set of weapons. This guy has knockouts and submissions to his name. And with 20 fucking wins, that tells me he's got a lot of experience. There's a lot of different defenses. And if he can keep up with Sadikov, Nazim, I think he's got it in the bag. Nazim's going to be younger, but less experience. I think this is going to be critical here. I think the experience is actually going to be the deciding factor. And that's going to overcome age and everything. And I'm giving it to Bonfim.
I'm also going Bonfim. I'm a fan of the Bonfim brothers. His brother is fighting on the prelims against Chaos Williams. I think
That's cool.
I think both the Bonfims are going to be riding high after this one. They're both going to be winners. Call me Ishmael. But this one's not getting eaten by a fucking fish. He's going to beat Nazim. Let's call it inside the distance. I'm feeling lucky. Inside the distance.
Ooh.
So I won't say whether to be knockout, which he's good at.
Yeah.
Chokes him out. He's also good at. Inside the distance, he finishes Nazim. That's where I'm feeling on this one, dude. I'm feeling some luck. Maybe even pair together the two brothers, the Bonfim brothers parlay, and you win some money off of a family.
Now, did you ever consider the third brother who's fighting, Bofa?
Both of these nuts?
Dang it. Okay, we'll get him next time, listeners.
I'm on it. I'm sharp as a tack. I'm sharp as a tack. All right, what do we have next? For the fourth fight on the main card, we have a bout in the middleweight division. Edmund, the Golden Boy Shabazian, coming in with a 13-5 record. He is the minus 320 favorite versus Dylan, the Mindless Hulk Budka. He is a 7-4 record, coming in as a plus 235 underdog. For the fourth fight of the evening, we have another exciting one. Well, more exciting. Edmund, the Golden Boy Shabazian versus Dylan, the Mindless Hulk Budka. One of those. Budka is coming in at a plus 235 underdog. Edmund Shabazian, the minus 320 favorite. Edmund is out of the same camp as Sean Strickland at Extreme Couture in Vegas. Tommy, are you going to pick racism again? Edmund Shabazian is not a racist. That is a joke.
We don't know that for sure.
He's not a racist, I don't think.
We are here on this podcast. You're a racist until proven otherwise, or we just really have a good suspicion.
And we're like the white kind of proving it to us. You have to show us a picture of you with that black person.
That's true.
Or I don't believe you.
Right, like Justin Trudeau in blackface at the Halloween party. Pretty racist.
Pretty racist. Glad he stepped down. What a foul Canadian. Foul Canadian.
He's still prime minister. Doesn't matter. I am taking Edmund, because I think Budka is bumpkus. This one, I really stayed away from stats. This one was kind of middle of the road for me, so I avoided all stats, and I just had a fever dream. I took a bunch of NyQuil, and I came to me in a vision to take Edmund, and that's what I'm doing.
Tommy, I'm not going to let it blow away. Are you telling me the Canadians still have that racist piece of shit Justin Trudeau in power? Are you telling me? I thought he stepped down. I guess I saw some fake news on Facebook. You're telling me they still have that racist piece of shit as a leader?
Yeah.
That is bad. You're gonna boo us at a hockey game? Fucking fools.
And he said he does not want to be the 51st state.
He's a piece of shit. Probably because he's racist. We don't have racist states here. Utah's just Utah to me.
I don't know.
Some people would say they're racist. Some people say they have proof they're racist. But that's just Mormonism, baby. That's just Mormonism.
I know people always say like racism existed for thousands of years before America, and it's true. Racism, slavery, these things were not invented in America. Mississippi just happened to perfect it.
That is true. They had a good system. But let's get back to the thing. Let's get back to the fight here. We're picking a fight. I'm taking Edmund Shabazian.
Nice. And
I've been watching Edmund for a couple years now since he debuted. I think he debuted at like 20 years old in the UFC.
Oh, yeah.
He's starting to gain some. He's not too old to fight, but he's also has 8 years of UFC experience, which a lot of the older fighters don't have because they don't make it till they're 31 years old. I'm rooting for Edmund. Like I said, I've been watching him a long time. Eric Nixick is a great coach. His fighters, their camp has a personality to them. And it's weird because it's all of them. All of them that fight in the UFC, they're all dogs. They don't quit on themselves. Even if they're down rounds, they're fighting that last round to try to win. They don't ever sit on a loss. They're active fighters, very active fighters. Their camp has like I said, like a character to them. That all of them embody. I like their camp. I'm taking Edmund in this fight. He is a minus favorite. I would put it in a parlay where you're not going to win that much money, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that team, I'm always rooting for them. Eric Nixick, go beat the fuck out of them. Mindless Hulk, you're going to be beat to death.
Oh, yeah.
So, go on Edmund Golden Boy Shabazian.
Woo! All right, what do we got next?
And for your co-main event, we have a 5-round bout in the featherweight division. Calvin Kattar, he comes in with a 23-8 record, a plus 300 underdog, versus Youssef the Moroccan Devil Zalal. He comes in with a 16-5-1 record. He is the minus 430 favorite. For the co-main event, Tommy, we have the Boston native Calvin Kattar versus Youssef the Moroccan Devil Zalal. Zalal's coming in at minus 430 favorite. Calvin Kattar plus 300. Tommy, what are you seeing out of this?
The Moroccan is a rockin'. Yeah, this one's kind of obvious. I feel even bad for Calvin. This guy kind of needs to be put out to pasture like old fucking Yeller. Zalal has won 6 consecutive fights, 3 straight with submissions within the first 2 rounds. I mean, Kattar's on a 3-fight losing streak and has not won since 2022. This guy won and Biden was still president. I mean, it's a long shot. And you know me, I love my underdogs. I like betting on the Panthers. We all do. Who doesn't love betting on the Panthers? But not on this one. I do not feel confident in it.
And I'm going with Calvin Kattar because I think he's a real Boston bomber. But not like he throws bombs, not like puts them at marathons or anything like that. He just throws bombs. Maybe he doesn't want to be called Boston Bomber, but I think he throws bombs while in Boston, from Boston.
That'd be a hell of a nickname. You would not forget
Plus
this.
300, I think that's hella good odds. I wouldn't put it on just knockout, even though I think that might be his only avenue of winning. I think, like you said, he's on a skid. They are good opponents he fought. He fought Aljo, and then he fought Max Holloway before that, who's a very good fighter, doesn't lose often. I think Kattar's in a good spot. He's not too old yet. He does have power. from what you said about Zalal, I do think he's going to try to wrestle. So I hope Calvin's built that up because Aljo kind of controlled him for 5 rounds with wrestling.
Yeah.
A lot of wrestling. So if he's gotten any better at that, his last opponent did give him all the experience in the world against a grappler. A very good grappler.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Calvin Kattar here, plus 300. I think it's good money. It is a risky bet. I'm aware of that. I know you could lose, but also you win 3 times your money if you win.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I mean, that's how gambling works. So I'm going Calvin Kattar to fuck the Moroccan devil up.
You gotta have an upset somewhere.
Let's do it. We're on American soil, and Zalal isn't taking any fucking wins back to Morocco, baby. Not today. And for your main event of the evening, we have a middleweight bout featuring Jared the Killer Gorilla Cannonier. He has a 23-8 record. He is a plus 162 underdog versus Gregory RoboCop Rodriguez. He has a 16-5 record. He is a minus 210 favorite. And we are at the apex of the UFC fight night at the UFC Apex. We're at the pinnacle, the top, right before it drops off the cliff. The main event, Tommy. We have Jared, the Killer Gorilla Cannonier versus Gregory RoboCop Rodriguez. Rodriguez is coming in at a minus 210 favorite, Tommy. What are you seeing on this one, brother?
I gotta say, I like Greg. I like RoboCop. I like the movie. It has Red Foreman in it. It was ballsy. Thing was awesome. Fucking blew the shit out. RoboCop shot a guy in the dick. It's fucked up.
The 90s were a different time.
It was different. I know that reboot came out. They went from the hard R.
There was a lot of dick violence in the 90s. There was that one lady that cut her husband's cock off, threw it out the window. Lorena Bobbitt.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of cock violence back then. They hated having dicks, just like they do now.
Yeah.
All right.
And kind of going off that, I like RoboCop. He's just kind of a little better situated for this. He's also about 8 years younger. And I know age gap like that usually isn't a big factor. These are UFC fighters. These are trained professionals. They're top of their fucking game. Because he easily kick the shit out of... Well, I'd like for us to try our hand at it. Doesn't matter. We're going to do that segment later. Doesn't matter. But... yeah, Greg's 8 years younger, 32 to 40. And 40 is that age where you really start to question things. Because 32 years old, it's okay if your new freshman, 18-year-old daughter brings home a 32-year-old boyfriend. You're concerned. Don't get me wrong. But it's not the end of the world. Your 18-year-old daughter brings home a 40-year-old man.
Especially named the Killer Gorilla.
Yeah. You're like, that motherfucker's drawing AARP. That guy's got Social Security benefits. I'm like, what's he doing? And kind of similar, what's he doing here? I think he's donezo. Needs to kind of be put out to pasture. I say that a lot. It just seems like a lot of fucking old timers fighting this fight and need to be done with.
I think we're definitely in a resurgence. We're seeing a lot of our favorite and UFC mainstays kind of age out. Izzy lost again, which is it's a sad fall that we're watching with him. And like, it is sad. I've bet on Volkanovski so many times because I love Volk.
Yeah.
But at this point, I just need to understand my fandom doesn't make him younger.
Yeah. You can't bet with your heart anymore.
So that's what I'm doing right here. I'm betting with my heart. Jared, the Killer Gorilla Cannonier. I'm picking him. Tommy, RoboCop is a good movie. It's a great movie. How was the remake?
Oh, not very good.
It was not a good remake. It's not great at all. It didn't hold up well.
Yeah.
What if they remade it a third time? That's what this dude is. This is the third time remake. He is not RoboCop. It's a nickname.
That's true.
It's a nickname. He doesn't hold a candle to the original. Does not. I was just shit talking there. Gregory's got a great future. He probably will get a title shot one day down the line. I don't think it's today. I don't think he gets over on the Killer Gorilla. That is a big sumbitch.
Yeah.
He is a big sumbitch. If he was wearing sweatpants and walking towards you, you walk the other way. I don't know what the sweatpants part means, but you just get the fuck out of there. You don't. Tommy, I'm telling you, you see this guy in a hallway and you're alone, you do not talk to him. You just don't. And it's not because you're mean or you don't. You're scared. That's where you're coming from. Tommy, I'll show you a picture, Jared. I'll show you a picture. You'll understand where I'm coming from. Let's just say it's a man our grandfathers wouldn't trust.
But what if everyone treated someone like that? That one kid from the Super Bowl commercial wouldn't get a Coke from Mean Joe Green, or wouldn't get the jersey when he gave the Coke to Mean Joe Green.
Or all those hate commercials that were Tom Brady and Snoop Dogg calling each other mean names and saying, "I can't believe we have to make a commercial to stop hate."
That's
like, hate
up.
is a new thing. I think, actually, we've gotten better as a country. I mean, yeah, there's still bad shit out there. You know, like, what happened in the 70s and 80s?
Oh, yeah.
Women and black people were still fighting for full rights, and they're like, but now, hate's at an all-time high. Like, no, it's not.
And what would Snoop Dogg...
To be fair, no.
And what the fuck would Snoop Dogg know about this? I love Snoop Dogg, don't get me wrong, but maybe the biggest sellout in current fucking Hollywood. That motherfucker wants to get on a commercial, talk about hate and shit, but then he plays at Trump's inauguration, and then last election, he said, if you vote for Trump, you ain't black. The guy will go anywhere a paycheck fucking follows. To act like he's the moral fucking standpoint of America because he bangs Martha Stewart from time to time is insane.
Although I would bang Martha as well. The part I had a problem with that commercial is how could you get two of the most liked people to do a thing about hate? The two most liked people. I would have probably maybe got like Colin Kaepernick, maybe someone like saying like, this is how hate has affected my life. I lost my job. No, we have two of the most beloved people in the world being like, hate sucks. They've never been fucking hated. Tom Brady was hated because he won back like 8 years ago when he was a Patriot and winning. I don't think Snoop Dogg's ever been hated. His music's been hot since he started. He's been a fan favorite, a beloved in the music industry, and now other industries as well. I just think they were the wrong two people to speak about it. Jared the Killer Gorilla Cannoneer is going to win this one over Gregory RoboCop Rodriguez. And that's just what I have to say about that.
And that's the news.
All right, this week we don't have the Chell Parlays part of Blitz the Book. We have the Four Nations.
Ooh.
NHL is down for the weekend for 4 countries to go at it in what I would call exhibition hockey. Exhibition hockey. We have on Saturday 2 of those games. The other ones are spread out to Wednesday has a few and Monday has a few. We're going to pick Saturday because weekend games are the best games.
Oh, yeah.
We have in that first matchup Finland versus Sweden. Tommy, where are you fearing?
I'm taking the Swedes. Finland is the very bottom favorite to win the whole thing, and for good reason. I have not seen much out of Finland's game. They don't even have many players in international competition-wise here. When you're going to see America, when you look at the other teams compared to each other, you're going to think the Finland team was completely vegetarian, how small they are. And I think that's going to translate. They're just going to get pushed around, like the fuck around. And if you've ever had a Swedish fish, those things are tough and chewy. And I think Sweden's going to be the same way on the ice.
I hate talking on hunches here, but isn't Sebastian Aho a Finnish player?
Ooh, I didn't think he was. I could have...
Are you picking against our boy Seabass here?
No, I thought Aho was something else.
I'll digress because we're not going to look it up.
He easily could be. All white people look the same.
Swedish have some blonde babes, too, up there. I've seen the Google searches. Just look up Swedish babes. It's just blonde girls in fucking bikinis, which makes no sense. I don't even think it's a warm climate country.
They must be freezing.
But for this one, I obviously have no clue. So I Googled which country has hotter women based on my observations and the notes I took, for which I have plenty of notes. I'm going with the Swedes as well.
Nice.
I hope it doesn't lead me wrong. They have pretty ladies, and I'm not going to watch the game because I have no dog in that fight. Michael Vick, calm down. No dog in that fight. I hope they have a great game.
Yeah, I hope it's good sportsmanship.
I hope some Swedish ladies reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram. I have X as well. You can find me on Tinder if you have West Virginia. I'm also on Bumble. That other one, what's the other one that they say the girls like more nowadays? Hinge. I have a Hinge. You can look me up on Spotify by Parlay or Die.
Farmers Only.
I'm not on Farmers Only no more.
That makes sense.
That bitch gave me a yeast infection. But I digress. We're gonna move on. Tommy, we have U.S. versus Canada. I didn't have to look up the ladies on this one because I already knew. But we're gonna talk hockey. I'm gonna talk ball on this one. Puck. Tommy, who do you have in USA versus Canada?
No surprise here. The fucking greatest nation ever conceived. The American race. That's right. The Americans have it. And for good reason. Let's start with the defense. America has probably the best goalie in the world right now. With Connor Hellebuck. I know I'm butchering that name. But all around, America has the solid defense and the solid foundations of gameplay. Canada, I know, is the slight favorite on this. And I don't know why. Because I know how they play, and they don't play aggressive enough, I don't think. I think America's going to take this, and when it's all said and done, America's going to have a new state. We may break it up into 3 or 4 different ones. I don't know how the fuck that works.
And then, based on what we heard earlier, we're firing Justin Trudeau. We're not even going to let him be governor of the state.
No.
He's got to fucking go. He's a racist piece of shit.
I wouldn't let that guy run.
Makes me fucking sick.
I wouldn't let him run a Tim Hortons.
Yeah, I wouldn't let him run a Timmy Hose either. Timmy Hose, no way.
What do you got? What do you like?
Tommy, don't get me wrong. I know that the Canadians, I don't know that they're playing. They have potential. The Canadian players in the NHL, they're some fucking dogs. They got Connor McDavid. They have that other guy and another guy. But you know what that means? I only named one player.
Yeah.
Who are those other people? They have Sid the Kid, but he's very old now. Sid the Kid's not a kid no more.
No, Sid the middle-aged man.
So I'm pulling out 50 stars, 13 bars, USA all the way. Woo! Like Mel Gibson, I am a patriot, not a racist. I'm a patriot. Shout out Lance Moore. We watched that movie so many times at Herbert Hoover High School that I could fucking recite to you the opening scene. Shout out Lance Moore for that one. USA all day. There is no other way.
Nope.
50 stars, 13 bars, and a whole flock of fucking Eagles. Let's go, baby. Woo!
That's right, everyone. Let's get ready. We got the NBA All-Star Game. Jay, up first of our exciting weekend of the best of basketball, we have the dunk contest.
Ooh.
Who you got dunking on these hoes?
I looked at the field. Very unimpressive. Worse than last year, and they kind of struggle with filling the dunk contest anymore because no one wants to do it. Everything has been done. There's just no, aura to the dunk contest that there used to be. Like when LeBron jumped over a Kia and made people believe he actually drives a Kia around. Because he don't fucking drive no Kia. No. And other contests, I think Shaq got dunked over one year, things like that. There's just no aura to it anymore. You can tell that they're just grasping at ideas. Everything's kind of been done already. There's no Vince Carters out there making it a fucking thing to win.
No.
That being said, I'm going with a guy that I have nicknamed the Easter Bunny because he's white and got hops. I'm going with Mac McClung. He's been doing dunk videos and highlight videos since he was in fucking high school. Wow. I haven't been able to dunk, and I'm way past high school. I've never been able to dunk.
No.
This kid was doing it as a teenager. A preteen, even.
That's fucking wild.
So I'm going with Mac McClung to take this dunk contest. I think him being a G League player, this means something to him. It's not just him hanging out the All-Star weekend. It's a thing he was asked to do. He takes a lot of pride in winning these things. It's something that he takes in high regard, probably more so than his whole season of the G League, because there's just not that big of many eyes on it. I think they've actually changed the rules so Mac McClung can participate. G Leaguers never came to All-Star Weekend before Mac.
Yeah.
I think Mac's taking this one. The Easter Bunny, he's going to put it in the hole. Pause. He's going to score the basketball. He's going to dunk. He's going to Easter Bunny that dunks. No pause. I'd pause. Tommy, what do you got?
Funny enough, I actually have Mac too, because it's kind of the same reason. I love the fucking minor leagues. I love minor league sports all around. No matter what the sport is, I think having kind of not the best of the best, but having higher middle road players is the best. These are just like regular people doing the impossible. This guy's up there competing with the best of the best, and he has a fucking day job probably. This motherfucker probably sells insurance at State Farm, and then goes out and dunks like nobody's fucking business. I love it. I wish they had more G League people competing and stuff. Honestly, don't even let the pros compete. Make it a showcase even. That'd be a great hear me out. Hear me out. Take Mac McClung to win the dunk contest.
I agree with that, Tommy. And one thing I'll kind of touch on there about minor league sports, there's a fun thing that happens while you're watching him. You're allowed to be playfully ignorant to the fact of like, I could do that, or why don't they put me out there? I could have done that. When you're watching pros, like the highest level, that's called blatant ignorance, where you're like, I am way better than LeBron James at basketball, and you have those thoughts. You're like, I know it's unrealistic. Am I saying it out loud to my buds? Abso-fucking-lutely. But it's just not realistic. On the minor league circuit, still unrealistic. They're still a better player. They're in a system to eventually get there. We probably wouldn't stand a chance against them. But you can think about it, and less people would be like, no fucking way.
We just might.
I'm coming for that fucking trophy. I'm coming for it. All right, Tommy. We also have the dunk contest part of All-Star Weekend.
You mean the 3-pointer?
I'm fucking caught up in it today, man. We are going 3-point contest because dunk was already discussed. 3-point contest in the past. It's been good. It's been good. Steph Curry's won a bunch of times. Dame won last year.
Damon Green? Yeah. I don't know.
Dame Dollar. I think Dame won last year. Pretty sure. Dame Dollar Sign won last year.
We're wrong. Put it down in the comments down below. Correct us. Call us big dumb idiots.
Dame Dollar, I think's got it. He is a crazy 3-point shooter. Because he's not older than or younger than Steph Curry, so you can't be like he's the new Steph Curry, but he's got that same aura to him where he's pulling up like 40-foot shots, deeper, like 10 foot behind the 3-line and hitting them. And other people are like, let me get as close as I can to that fucking 3-line and try to get it because that's the highest chance I have at it. I think Dame Dollar's taking this 3-point contest.
I don't know. That's a good pick. I like it a lot. I like Cameron Johnson, honestly, from the Nets. And I just like him because I don't watch the Nets. You'd have to put a fucking gun to my head to actually sit down and watch Brooklyn basketball. Anywho's, he's got the stats to back it up. He has just a hair better 3-point shooting percentage for the last several years. And I think that's going to be critical because that's game time experience. Now he has no defenders. He's got time. I like it. And it's just a little something different. You know, we get so much of the fucking same. Like you said, Steph Curry's won it a bunch of times. LeBron James won the dunk contest. Shaq. We hear the same 10 fucking people in the NBA all the fucking time. I just want to hear something new. Sue me.
It's not a bad hope. Not a bad hope, Tommy. But I'm going with Dollar. He literally has money in his name.
That's good.
Dame Dollar. He's going to win you some dollars. Dame. Point match. Let's get to the next one. All right, Tommy. We have college basketball aplenty this weekend. Out of all the games that are going this weekend, college basketball said, I'll take the fucking reins. This is our weekend. We're going to fill the weekend up with some ball. They gave us a lot to look at, especially on Saturday. Tommy, what are you betting on Saturday?
Ooh, first up, I've got an exciting one. The first time a number 1 and number 2 seed in the SEC have fought against each other regular season. Auburn, Alabama, man. And Alabama is in better form. They've averaged 89.2 PPG in the last 5 games compared to Auburn's 82. So it's going to be a very close game. Alabama is playing just a hair better. And Auburn, man, after that last upset. The people have them on fraud alert. I had them on fraud alert. They probably shouldn't be where they're going to be. So this game will be decisive. and I'm taking Auburn. I'm taking the War Eagles one last time before they fuck me.
War Eagles!
And then following that, Tennessee with its chance for redemption. The rematch against Vanderbilt. Ooh, they lost this one just a few weeks ago. And the Volunteers are pissed.
It's an in-state game, too.
Oh, yeah.
Vandy's from Nashville.
Yep.
Not far. They show up.
Expect for this game for Tennessee to cover and probably hit an over, because I guarantee they're going to throw the fucking book at them. And then last, we've got a nice easy one. Duke versus Stanford. It's nice that Stanford plays these games, gives Duke a chance to heal up, play some freshmen, let them get their playing time, earn their scholarships, kind of scout the next year ahead. Don't bother with this too much. I wouldn't even take the spread, because this is one of those trap games where Stanford tries their fucking hardest and Duke skips lunch. Take the Duke money line. And that's a solid parlay right there. You're going to make some money. Jay, what do you got?
I got a lot of plays. I wouldn't necessarily maybe bundle all of them into one single parlay.
Unless
you're a lotto player, because this one's going to win you a lot of money. First up, I also like the Auburn-Alabama matchup in Alabama, in-state rival. But as you could tell from when you picked them, War Eagle is going to win on this one. I got them over Roll Tide Roll.
Yep.
Auburn is going to take this one. It's going to be a nice win. I have Auburn winning it all, obviously. So I believe in their power. They only have one loss this year.
Yeah. When I
They're doing
fucking
well.
bet on them.
They're doing well. I also have Houston at Arizona Saturday. Houston, I like them this year. I think they're also going to be alive late in March Madness. We're going to see them around. They have a very good team. Zona, they're a good team too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. But
someone's got to win, and I think that is Houston. Wisconsin at Purdue. I like Purdue. Another ranked matchup here on Saturday. I'm going to go Purdue in that one. Go Boilermakers. Mississippi State versus Ole Miss. Another in-state rivalry game that is ranked. They really gave us some good-ass matchups this weekend.
They knew football's over.
They knew what they understood the assignment. They understood the assignment where NBA and NHL did not. They said, here's our balls, here's your table. So
Plop.
So after Ole Miss, you moved to Sunday. They still giving you some action here.
Nice.
Creighton at St. John's. I'm taking St. John's. They had a good win against UConn earlier in the season, in which I have lost. Usually, fool me once, shame on me. You're not going to fool me twice.
Nope.
Going St. John's on that one and this last one. I don't think it's going to be necessarily as competitive as a game, but maybe, because what I'm taking is only a slight favorite, and they're the ranked team. Michigan at Ohio State. Records aside, Michigan is Ohio State's daddy. Mm-hmm. They're not going to drop one even if it is at Ohio State. Hell, they weren't even ranked this year, and they went into Ohio State and got that win.
Yeah.
So it obviously doesn't matter a fuck being in Columbus.
Wasn't that a different sport?
It was a different sport. But that's how much they're in Ohio State's heads.
Ooh. Okay.
That's how much.
That's bold.
They're in there. I think Michigan, being the ranked opponent, that's an easy win. Ohio State can't do dick.
No, they can't.
Fuck Ohio State.
That's not true. Ohio State can definitely suck dick.
They do suck dick. I will say that with you. But that is my complete wrap-up of this weekend's college basketball men's games. I do have some women's we'll get into real quick. Because I didn't prepare you for this, but I've got a lot. I've loaded the cannon for this one. Let's go. I have WVU women's against Cincinnati in Morgantown. WVU.
Nice.
I would take them to cover against Cincinnati. The Nasty Natty. The Lady Mountaineers. They've got this one.
Yeah.
Tennessee to cover on Ole Miss at home. Ole Miss is home. I think Tennessee goes into their house, takes everything they care about, and takes it back to fucking Tennessee with them. Let's go.
Yeah.
West Virginia native Kim Caldwell. West Virginia listeners of the pod, if you do not know Kim, shame on you. Kim was born in Parkersburg, graduated and coached at Glenville State, to which she found much success. She took Marshall women's team late into March Madness last season, gave me hope that we would possibly win it all. Win the whole fucking thing with Marshall, who was atrocious the year before.
And bad now.
And bad when she left. Proud and strong West Virginia woman. Kim, I'm going to go ahead and cue up Rocky Top for you. You're going into Ole Miss and getting a dub here. She has one of the most electric playing styles in all of college basketball, men or women's. They run it like it's a fucking hockey team. They sub 5 in, 5 out, and they play full press, full speed basketball the whole fucking time until their opponent breaks mentally, physically. It's an exciting way to watch basketball because it's all the time balls to the wall. I know they don't have balls, but basketballs to the wall. I'm hyped for Kim on this one. Cover at Ole Miss. Huge game. UConn at South Carolina.
Yikes.
2 legendary coaches in women's basketball. Gino Auriemma, Don Staley. Just fucking, they're literally in the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. They're going to be.
Yeah.
They are legends. Outstanding programs. Gino's been doing it for years. 10 years over. Paige Beckers, last year in college basketball, she has a reason to push for UConn. Mm-hmm. UConn only has 3 losses. South Carolina only 2 losses. I think South Carolina probably wins it all this year. That's what they fucking do. They win women's basketball championships. I like them to win this game as well. It is at South Carolina. I think Dawn is hyped up being an Eagles fan. She's ready to go out there and win her big ass game.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Except for when they're playing us. Go Birds against the Chiefs. LSU at Texas, another good one. Let's go Kim Mulkey. She's going to put on her flashiest pantsuit she fucking has. She's going to look like she's at fucking Fashion Week because no one else would wear that fucking pantsuit in this world.
It's
but
gaudy.
as Coach O would say when he was at LSU, go Tigers! Go Tigers! And that's where we're going to go with that one. LSU, Kim, put the flash and bedazzle on, baby. Michigan State at UCLA. UCLA is 1 loss this year. They're number 1 in college basketball right now.
Yeah.
I think Lauren Betts and Kiki Rice kind of get back into rhythm. Last game they were a little off. They weren't the best scorers. I think a bench player was their best scorer in the last game. They still won. 1 loss record, like I said. Big game against USC, though, on Thursday before this game. So it just depends. If everyone makes it out clean, I take UCLA on Saturday. And that is all I have for women's college basketball.
Oh, is that all?
That's all. I only kind of went over half the slate. What I'm saying is all of college basketball understood the assignment where our other leagues have let us down.
I can't believe it.
They understood the assignment. NFL's out. Let's step in and show people. Let's put good sports on televisions.
Yeah. Make sports great again.
Make sports great again. I think that's what, Tommy, if I had to say what our mission in this whole world is, we're going to make sports great again. All sports.
Absolutely.
All sports. Football is king, and we love football. But we're going to show that shine to all sports when they grace our television and FanDuel allows us to bet on them.
Yeah. Let's bet on more things.
Let's keep to that mission, Tommy. We're going to make sports great here.
Yeah.
We're going to make them all great. Because that's what we would do for America.
You're welcome, America.
You're welcome. All right.
All right. Let's wrap it up.
All right, Tommy. For Blitz the Book, we're adding a new little wrinkle to the segment weekly. We're going to take futures parlays, and we're going to get people updated when it's adequate and necessary.
Ooh.
We're not going to sit there and throw it in your face every week, but when something big has happened to our parlay or hope has been gained or lost, then we'll let you know about it. Only then, though. We're not going to be in your Back to the Future. We're going to call it. Whoa! Some Bill and Ted shit right there. All right, Tommy, for our Back to the Future parlays, what have you got cooked up for it?
Ooh, this is going to be good.
Tommy's in the kitchen.
Do you want it all, or do you want me to go back and forth bit by bit?
Let's list your parlay out for the people.
Oh, all right. Going up first, we're going to start with this NBA championship this year, 2025. I'm going with the Lakers. They've spent the money. They've got the trade. LeBron doesn't have any more years left in him. His kid's already fucking G League, probably playing for Wendy's.
I think what he's waiting for now is his other son to make it to the league, as he is supposed to be an actual baller.
I don't know. I think the Lakers are being set up to win this year, and we're not going to question it too much when the script fucking comes out and it's too obvious. I've got the Lakers. College side of that, I'm going with Duke. Duke's looked good this year, and I'm a Duke boy. I don't go there because I'm poor, but Duke's always made me money basketball when I bet on them. I like Coach K. I like betting against them. I made money betting for UNC, the Tar Heels, when they were playing for the Coach K's funeral. But I like Duke this year. They're playing well. Auburn.
Fan of the main event?
Fan of the main event. Auburn's on fraud alert after these big fucking upsets that coming their way. And soon they're going to have to test themselves against some real opponents, and I just don't think they're going to keep up. Then, going to the ice, we've, of course, got our Canes winning the Stanley Cup this year. And not that crappy Stanley Cup your girlfriend and wife has 1,000 of in the cupboards. Like one that actually fucking matters. But you can still drink out of it. Kind of interesting. Then, Super Bowl winners next year. That's right. We can't even get 1 week away from football without talking about it. And this should be coming as no surprise. I know everyone sleeps on them, but this team is poised and ready to fucking take charge this year. They're already on the upswing. They're going to keep going to new heights. This team, I mean, is unfucking stoppable coming up this year. I can't wait to see what the draft does to them, because they're just going to bring in more talent. That's right, the Panthers. It's this year. It's going to be their year. You heard it here first. They're the fifth lowest or fifth highest odds to win right now. Only beating out the Patriots, Vegas, and Giants. But this is your chance to make some money with them.
He did say fifth highest odds to win, not the best odds to win, folks. They're at the bottom of the table, not the top of the table. I just want to make sure that our viewers at home don't think that we're saying the Panthers are a favorite on betting odds.
No. If you go and look at those numbers, you will very clearly see that they are not heavy favorites. But sticking with, then moving over to baseball, I like the Dodgers this year to win it. Kind of like the Lakers, they're spending the money. They don't have Shoto, but my God, do they have a fucking all-star cast around them. And LA's doing something that's going to redefine baseball going forward. You're going to see it here in the next couple years. Baseball teams and sports teams in general are going to have to start spending some fucking money if they want to be good. LA is spending the money, they're getting the talent, and now the rest of the league has to play fucking catch up. This is going to be the year they're going to win it, and everyone else next year is going to talk about what they did wrong. And then finally, going back to football, the college football championship. Ah, man, this one I did not like. There's so many loose ends, so many things up in the air. And Ohio State being the favorite, I wanted to puke just looking at my fucking phone. I thought about taking my phone down to the nearest body of water and just chucking as hard as I could at the thought of Ohio State winning 2 championships back to back. So, we're going back to basics. Sticking with the SEC, some quality talent. I'm going with the Bulldogs, UGA. They didn't do so hot this year. I know Beck kind of dropped out on them. Next year, I'm just putting some money on them, hoping that they play a little better and have some consistency in the playoffs. All in all, this 6-leg parlay, if you take it right now, 34 cents will win you $996,672.26. Now, I know what you're saying. Why 34 cents? What a very specific number. That's because FanDuel actually won't let you put a 1 penny more because it'll go over the $1 million limit. That's right. This bet is so guaranteed to make you millions, they won't let you do it. Imagine if you went to the gas station, got a lottery ticket, put your numbers in, handed it to the lady, and she said, no, this is going to win. You can't have that. Pick a different number. That's exactly what's going on right now. It's insane. So do what you can do. Put the max you can, 34 cents. Maybe make a few 34 cents bets until it hits $1 million. Wow, didn't think about that. And I think you got some real money opportunities here, Jay. I really do. What do you got cooking?
Well, with what you have out there, I say we change, and mine here as well, as you'll see in the end with what amount we hit here. We should change the segment from Back to the Future to Who Wants to Be a Fucking Millionaire, because we got We're going to make you one. We're going to make you one. You just follow us there. Follow us to the promised land. All right, I'm going to start with college football. College football, we just talked about it in the segments previous to this. Don't bet with your heart. I think this whole parlay was my heart. Oregon, I got national champions, plus 650, third on the table.
Whack.
It's quack.
Whack. Affleck.
All right. I also have the 2024-25 champions this NBA season. I have top of the table, my favorite team. I'm not just picking the favorite. The Boston Celtics. Joe Mazzulla said immediately in the post-conference of the last finals, I'm on to next year. And he's proven he wasn't wrong.
Damn.
He was proving he's not wrong. So I'm going with my Boston Celtics to bring it home again. Then I have 2024 on the ice. It's no secret. We're a bunch of jerks. We're going to be jerks when we win it all. The Carolina Hurricanes, a bunch of fucking caniacs right here, baby. We are going to take it all. And FanDuel knows it too. They have us at the top of the table. For 25 MLB champions, I'm going Atlanta Braves. Historic program. They've been good recently. Fell off a little bit this year. I think they bring it back next year. They have a better season, and they put themselves in contention to win it all. And I just hope to God the MLB figures it out. Shohei Ohtani placed those bets.
Ooh, yeah.
His own team, he played, I don't know English. Mi scusi. I don't know. His own teammate said he knows English. It's just not great, but he can fucking speak English.
Yeah.
He lied right there.
Plus 100 looks the same in every language.
And I'm telling you, unless it was Devin Kermeans placing his fucking bets, no, his interpreter couldn't have been that bad at fucking gambling. He owed millions.
Yeah.
How bad at fucking gambling are you? It's just dumb. It's dumb. Don't have Devin bet for you. Don't ever do it. He doesn't know what a lock is.
Fucking Cowboys are not a lock.
For Super Bowl champion, it is not a far guess where I'm going with this. The Washington Commanders. Adam Peters has said he's going to be hot in the free agency trail. He's in leads of being the lead team for Myles Garrett and Deebo Samuel. Two great players that would look great in the burgundy and gold. Washington comes in at, I think, number 6 on the favorite chart. 6 from the top at plus 2,400. Not bad odds considering the beginning of last year, ending of last season, beginning. We were at the bottom of the table.
Yeah.
And we went to the NFC Championship. There's good money. You can't place this bet like Tommy said on FanDuel, but $10, if you could get someone to take the bet, would win $2,198,661.88. You can probably place like a $4 bet based on FanDuel's logic there because they're not paying out $1 million. No. So maybe bet your $4, be a millionaire. Millionaire is good. You can do a lot with $1 million. You can do a lot with $1 million. Swag yourself out.
Probably buy about 500,000 McRibs.
You could buy 500,000 McRibs for sure. For sure. You could do that. That could be arranged. Plus, you never know when they're going to come back. So you can put them in a deep freeze. It's really not a great sandwich, though.
I like it, though.
What's weird is they always put it out at St. Patty's Day with the Shamrock Shake. They're like, do you think a Shamrock milkshake, a peppermint milkshake is going to make a rib sandwich with fake rib meat taste better? I think McDonald's might be doing crack. But that's our Back to the Future parlays. We're going to check in when we need to on those. But I would place them now because that is $1 million. And all you'd have to say is, I placed a $4 bet. If you lose, you lost $4. If you win, you're a fucking millionaire and have changed your family. I'm not going to take all the credit for it. That would be you. I just gave you good advice. That's all.
You hear that, McFly? Are you chicken?
All right, guys, and that was a great episode. That was our Valentine's Day episode for everyone. We hope y'all are having a great Valentine's Day weekend. Placing bets, but also paying a little bit of attention to your loved one. Your loved one. Don't pay attention to your mom or your family.
No.
It's not their holiday. Do it for your boo, and do it good.
Yeah, talk to them. Ask them, hey, what do you think about this spread? Would you take this over? Communicate. That's how you say in a healthy relationship.
And maybe even like, no condom?
Butt stuff?
Butt stuff?
'Tis the season for butt stuff.
Or maybe you even mention Singles Awareness Day and ask her to bring her friend Kim over. You never know. It could work. You could work. You got to take those shots sometimes, just like with betting. If you don't bet, you can't win.
That's true. It's also the motto of the lottery. And lottery is just sports gambling, but for pussies.
Yeah, for pussies.
Anyone can pick a number. Try picking a fucking spread.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So like and subscribe. Follow us on all social media. We are dropping on Saturday mornings now. So it goes great with your Saturday morning coffee right before the games start. Give us a watch. Laugh with us. We'll get you going for Saturday. Get you in a good mood. And then we're going to help you win some money. Then you're in a better mood. And then you come back to us the next Saturday. But until March Madness, Tommy, we're going to bi-weekly on distribution.
Yep. That's right. There's just not enough football going on. Because there's none. So to fill the space, we're going to give you more content more often. But just twice a week. Once every 2 weeks.
And that is until March Madness, which I know is not that far away. We're going to do March Madness weekly.
Oh, yeah.
Just because there's so much basketball so many times to win money. We can't miss out on it. We can't have y'all miss out on it because that just takes money right out of y'all's wallet. And we're not going to do that. We're not thieves. But we are going to wish them a happy Valentine's Day. Be safe out there, guys. Like and subscribe. Thank you.
Yeah, see you in 2 weeks.
Dance on it. Come on, man. I'm dancing with the fucking stars, man.